allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll come to order for May the 23rd, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. First order of business, reading and approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting of May 9th, 2023.
Motion to approve the minutes is presented.
Seconded.
We have a motion second to approve the May 9th minutes as presented. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by like sign. That motion carries. Thank you. Next, reading and approval of the minutes from the workshop dated May 15th, 2023.
I move that we accept the minutes as
Second.
presented.
We have a motion and second to accept the minutes of the workshop of May 15th. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign, that motion carries. Thank you. Okay, then we had a workshop last night regarding the Stifler Drive possibilities. So if we could have reading and approval of the minutes from the workshop dated May 22nd, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second to accept the minutes of the workshop dated last night, May 22nd, 2023. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign, that motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have two bids here. One roofing and one for some firearms for the police department.
It's awarding. It's not awarding of the bids first.
I'm sorry, yeah, instead of receipt, yeah. Yeah, these are awarded the bids, I'm sorry. Actually, bid opening, and we'll turn these bids over to the two council persons at large.
When you go over the two that we already did last week, Mayor, we're not opening those yet, we're going over the awards of bids. And then we got to accept two bids from last week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And we were-
Yeah, okay, you're right, I'm sorry. Awards of bids for, asphalt, concrete, stone slash abrasive sand, and reinforcement rods. Can you handle that, Cody?
Yes, we only received one bid, and the 3 years now that I've been on council, we've only ever received one bid because it's really Southern West Virginia Paving's the only local one that sends it in, and basically it's base 2 and P&L 1 for $101.25 a ton, wearing 1 for $107 a ton, curb mix $144 a ton, tennis mix $144 per ton. We sat down and agreed to, we would like to make a motion to accept this bid.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've made the motion, right?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion second to accept the component bids for paving, et cetera, as described by Cody. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign, that motion carries. Thank you. Okay, Cody, next, award of milling and paving for North Oakwood and Sheridan Avenue.
On this, we received two bids for North Oakwood and Sheridan. Both bids met specs. The first bid was from West Virginia Paving at the amount of $266,344, and the second bid came from AAA Paving at $150,000 even. Me, Ms. Hunter, Mr. Trump, and Pam all sat down last week and discussed it, and she spoke to AAA, and we've done business with them, and with the amount being low, we have decided we would like to make the motion to accept AAA at $150,000.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second to accept the AAA bid? We have a motion and a second to accept the AAA bid as described for the pavement of North Oakwood and Sheridan Avenue. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Now, we'll get down to receipt of bids for the purchase of 60 police duty handguns. I'm going to do my Johnny Carson imitation. To everybody's relief, I'm sure.
Old guys got old jokes, right?
Sums it up well.
Whoa. What do we hear down there?
Karnak the Magnificent.
Shots fired.
Everybody here's
Shots
too young. Old guys have old jokes. Okay.
Guns.
All righty. We've received only one bid from Vance's Law Enforcement for the handguns for police duty. And the bid is a total $46,320, and that's from Vance Outdoors Incorporated in Columbus, Ohio. And is that 60 firearms? Yeah, for 60 firearms. Total of 46,000. 320. Good. So,
766 per fire.
What type of firearms are they, Mayor?
pardon?
See,
Yeah, this bid will be turned over to the councilpersons at large, Chief Bailey and Billy Trump, for possible and likely award at a future meeting. Seeing that the only bid received. Next, this is for the replacement of the, or I guess, installation, construction of a new roof for the historic Black Knight roof replacement. And the only bid received was from Fry Roofing Incorporated, who has been a very dependable vendor for other city contracts. So the total bid replacement is $153,600 even. This bid will likewise be turned over to two councilpersons at large, Billy Trump and Director of Parks and Recreation, Leslie Baker, for review and likely acceptance at a future council meeting. Next, resolution to establish boundaries and covenants for the land and water conservation fund on property owned by the city of Beckley, Raleigh County, West Virginia. Mr. Fowler?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, sir. Tonight, I will briefly explain the resolution. I don't think it'll be necessary to read it in its entirety. What this resolution does is it basically places a restriction that is required by the Secretary of the Interior. The Secretary of the Interior has made it possible for the city of Beckley to receive a grant to make improvements at the city of Beckley Freedom Park. But in doing so, they require that we have certain language in a deed of record. And so this language is being placed on a deed, basically in which the city is deeding to itself, but is including this language in order to restrict future use of the property. This park can no longer, or cannot be converted to other than public outdoor recreation use without the written approval of the Secretary of the Interior. That is the language that they have required. The work is already underway at the City of Beckley Freedom Park, and this will authorize us to receive the grant funds and to move forward with that project. So we do need to adopt this resolution, which approves the restrictive language, and it authorizes the city to enter into this deed. Mayor?
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Fowle. For those of you who haven't seen the, I guess the construction is complete now at Freedom Park. It's not, they're still working on it.
we've got to do the board in place, which takes up, we had to wait for no rain.
For weather,
Hopefully,
yeah.
I think if they didn't start on it today, possibly tomorrow, it takes 3 days to set and cure.
Yeah.
It's quite a big surface, and then we have to take it, who would have ever planted a holly tree in a playground? I have no idea, but we're going to take out a holly tree, and then we have a few little other improvements to make, and we'll be ready.
I might have planted that tree back in 1967.
Not a good idea.
I know it now. Sorry. Okay. And that's about a $250,000 project?
I don't know.
About
About 100.
About 100?
Yeah, but,
What was 250? Was that Glen Avenue? I mean,
no, Glenn
Saunders?
was about 25,000. Scott.
Scott, yeah, yeah, good.
Scott was first.
Well, it really looks nice.
Scott was a HUD project, this was not.
Okay.
This was West Virginia Office of Development.
Great, okay. So, do we have a motion to approve the resolution as described by Mr. Fowle?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve the resolution regarding the boundaries and covenants for land and water, conservation on property owned by the city of Beckley. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign. That motion carries. Next, Captain Morgan. I know you've been busy putting the final touches on the permit.
Yeah, we received a notice of application for West Virginia ABC A license. This is for a change of ownership. Jose Ayala, applicant, Ayala Family Incorporated, doing business as El Bandito, 1914 Harper Road, map 54, parcel 19, has filed a notice of intent to apply to operate a private club, private wine restaurant, or tavern at this location in the B1 Neighborhood Highway Business District. This location, 1914 Harper Road, and the intended use, private club, private wine restaurant, or tavern, is permitted use in this B1 zone. And the location is not in an area designated by Common Council for the use of community development block grant funds.
Good deal. So that's the location of the original Pancake House, I think, yeah, next to Pizza Hut. So that's for the edification of council and does not require a vote. Thank you, sir.
If I may, wasn't there a Mexican restaurant that actually had alcohol in it? That's the most recent thing that was in there?
Campestre, yeah.
Campestre's had a full bar in the back, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know why it was a change of use, because I thought they had the same thing.
Change of ownership.
Thank you. I misheard.
Thank you.
Just to be nosy, are they moving or are they having two locations? Thank you.
Okay, next. Down to old business, a couple things I'll mention. We had a good session. We'll have a speaker this evening to talk a little bit about some ideas regarding our panhandlers and the homeless situation. And also, we had a good workshop last night. The sole topic was the issues on Stifler Drive, and I think we made some good headway last night. So I appreciate the attendance of council last night for that workshop. And then, Leslie, can you give us a pool update?
We're still plodding along, but with at-work's insistence, and it seems like there's a commitment issue on lifeguards. They don't want to commit till the very last minute, but as of today, we have 10 that are certified, newly certified, except for 2 of them. We are still working looking for attendance for the concession stand and the ticket counter, and we do have a pool manager. The pool probably won't be able to be open until June 8th because all of these people are finishing school.
Right.
And have graduation and other commitments. And then the health department hit us with kind of something unexpected. They came to and do a preliminary inspection, and they said we had to paint the whole thing, that we could not patch paint it.
Right.
And so it was very expensive. It was $8,000 to get the paint. And once again, the weather, you have to, for that specialized paint, it has to be above a certain degree, and there can be no threat of rain. And the paint's not here anyway. So we have 2 of the lifeguards who are willing to start early. They're college kids and they're home. So we'll start on the painting as soon as we can. And then it takes, 3 days to cure, 3 days to fill up. So hopefully we will meet our deadline of June the 8th.
That's
But
great.
we're still struggling with some scheduling, even with 10 lifeguards. There's they want a lot of time off. And
They want vacations and whatnot,
we're only
beach
gonna-
trips and so forth.
So we'll be open from June 8th, hopefully to through the first week of August, because then they're all going away to college.
That's great, and compliments to all the work you've done, and everybody that's helped staff the pools, et cetera, at work, I think is
At work,
really
and I
come
have to
through.
commend the Y. They have
And
done
the
an
Y.
admirable job. They really upped their classes. And this is not just, usually they have like 4 or 6, they've had 10. They're doing a couple more, and they're going to come and do continued in-service weekly at, since these are all kind of new lifeguards,
Right.
they're going to come and do in-services and some extra training for us throughout the summer.
Great. Kind of on the same subject, but a little offhand, I don't know if it was through our website, city council, on the City of Beckley website, whether it was on social media, but there was a rumor that we were not opening Black Knight due to structural problems in the pool, which was totally incorrect.
Nobody's ever said anything
Yeah.
about structural problems over there. And we do have new filters over there, so it'll probably be all right. It was just, we would need probably, 5 or 6 more lifeguards and a couple more it was just gonna be a whole.
Sure, yeah.
10-person workforce to go over there, so, the one that everybody seems to enjoy the most, and of course it has the most amenities with the diving well and the water slide, and it's more centrally located, so we'll just see if we can get New River up and running the safest possible way.
Good. Well, I just wanted to quash that rumor about structural problems at Black Knight, because that has never been the issue, and I don't know how it got started, but anyhow, good. Thank you. Thank you very much, and again, congratulations on a lot of hard work there. Anything from any member of council under old business?
I think I might have something there.
All righty.
There was a graduation today at Stratton Elementary for the 5th grade class, and that was the last class in the old school.
Wow.
So it was very sad, very
Sure.
emotional. And, but I attended, and
Good.
it was very nice.
Great. Yeah, that's fairly historic, isn't it?
Yeah, and then they're having a tour
Oh, good.
for the old school.
For the old school. Yeah, good. Good. Thank you. Anything else from any member of council under old business? Anything from any member of council under new business?
Mayor, I'm going to construe this as new business because it's only ever been a public comment, but in our conversations with Ms. West and looking at things we've done in the past with respect to streets that have legitimate speeding issues, there's precedent for a member of a street to petition and gain all the members on their street's support. Then it comes to Beckley Police to address whether or not a lowering of the speed limit from 25 on her street, maybe down to 15, would be appropriate. I mean, that would put it on Ms. West and her able-bodied machine to go to all of her neighbors to get signatures, but it may be a way to drop that speed down from 25 to 15, which has happened on some other streets in the bowling district. I was going to talk to Chief about whether he thought that might be something that he could help us with if they had unanimous support of the members of folks that live there. But if it was a bad idea, the chief would tell me it's a bad idea and quit working out a turn, so.
Yeah, we can discuss that.
Yeah. If my vote counts for anything, I think it's a bad idea, but anyhow, Chief can.
I appreciate it.
It's a long, straight street with
It
2
is.
stop signs.
It is.
And you can put a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit sign up.
Sure.
People are still going to drive 20, 25. I mean, that's my opinion.
No, I understand. I just, I know she's not here, she's here in spirit. And me speaking for her was so much,
Well-
it's so much more pleasant, right? So-
Very kind of you.
But if
Councilman.
that's something you and I could talk about afterwards, thank you.
Very good. Anything else from a member of
I
council?
was just gonna ask Chief Bailey, do you have an update, any updates on the shooting? You just still making
Do not
arrests?
tonight. We have more arrests forthcoming
Okay,
coming in the future. Just finalizing a few things right now.
okay, thank you.
A lot of investigation underway at this point. Yeah.
Waiting on some info.
Yeah, we'll look forward to more news as it's available. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have something. I know last year we kind of brought it up. I think me and Mr. Dunlap both brought this up, and I seen it in the paper yesterday. Raleigh County Sheriff's Department just got a pretty good raise at their starting salaries at a little bit over 50,000 now, and I know our cops are about 42.5. So, and I think if we can maybe have a workshop with all of us, and maybe Chief could give us some information. I know with the local ones, we're pretty low
Yeah,
compared to
we
it.
can't be beaten by Oak Hill.
Yeah, and
We
it's
are.
going to be hard to keep retention, I'm sure, for him in that regard. And I know the county has raised their pension, I think, about 2.5%, so they're kind of gaining ground on the retirement part on us. But I would really like to see if we can maybe, all of us sit down and maybe him, and if he could come up with something for starting salary and then maybe, you know, because from things I've looked into that, there's some cops that might be 2 or 3 years in that are making the same salary as 10-year veterans, and maybe we could put a $250. I know Morgantown does this every year. It's a $250 increase per, you know, year. Maybe just try to do anything we can to retention, because I know personally a couple officers that are putting in applications for state police and the sheriff's department right now, because I mean it's hard to ask somebody to turn down the sheriff's or state police about 16,000 and locally 8,000. It's hard when you got family and stuff to not put in applications.
Great.
I agree. Without getting in the weeds, we met with Chief and Deputy Chief Allard this morning, and that was pretty much the sole topic of how we attack this. And your idea of a workshop, I think, is very much in line, because it will require council to condone, approve, vote for any potential increases. But yeah,
I just want to make it competitive. I mean, I know how much we spend on each officer that we send to the academy and stuff, and it kind of hurts if they're only here for a year or two, and then the sheriff's department's picking up our investment.
I think theoretically, they have to serve, 2 years before they're not required to refund the
Yes, sir. 2
training
years
at the
before they have to
academy.
refund it.
But that's kind of iffy too,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. But yeah, it's a concern. Chief gave us a brief rundown of expected departures for several reasons. So it's a matter of concern, no doubt. So we will, and we adjourned our meeting this morning saying that we needed, as you have suggested, we need to address this pretty quickly. So we will do that. But thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else from a member of council under new business? Okay, we're done.
I just wanted to say too, Sherry Hunter, did you want to mention that? About why she's not here?
Well,
Her
her grandson, Cameron Mans, he's an ace pitcher for Shady Spring Tigers, and they're playing in the regional tournament this evening at Pikeview.
Yeah.
So that's where Sherry is, and Cam has signed with Fairmont State to play baseball up there. He's an ace. There's no doubt about it. Yeah,
Yeah, he's good in all sports.
fine young man to boot. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Guess we're down to public comments. Anything else under new business? Any member of council? If not, we'll get to public comments. We have 4 people signed up to make comments. Looks like Frederick Brown is first. Is that correct? Yeah, go right ahead. If you'll limit your comments to 3 minutes, that would be great.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
I have purchased a home on F Street, and I have no sewer line hooked to it. I have talked to Papalowski with no success. Tried to speak with Jeremiah. He sends me this bill here if I want a sewer line. Would anyone like to see it?
If you don't mind, just paraphrase the amount for the upgrade.
$4,164.80 if I don't hit rock.
Okay, my suggestion is, Sanitary Board meets the second Wednesday of every month at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we have a period like we have this evening for public comments. So it would be more appropriate to talk to the board at Sanitary Board. I think we've talked before about a similar problem.
Several
haven't we?
occasions.
Yeah. So I would encourage you to do that. Council they can be educated on what you're concerned about, but in my opinion, any action that can be formulated pretty much immediately. It's going to have to come from the sanitary board. So I would suggest that you, if you can do it at 9 o'clock on the second
14th.
Wednesday,
June 14th.
June 14th, at 9 o'clock at sanitary board on Heber Street. That would be good.
And let us know if you can't get relief there. I mean, if I may paraphrase, essentially there was an upgrade on your street and it ended about 60 yards before it got to the new house you purchased.
Yeah.
Probably not assuming someone would come in and invest in your home and make it look nice, because before you owned it, it was in disarray.
Yes.
Probably thinking that your house wasn't going to be saved from a wrecking ball, and they just didn't finish the upgrade that further down in the red brush where they did
That's
upgrades on their
correct.
communities. Please
And-
come to us if you don't get relief there. Hopefully you will.
Okay. And the main issue was it's been like 3.5 years, and even when they was doing the project, I made them aware of that 3 years ago. No one done nothing. And all this money was allocated to them, nothing. Parts of it wasn't even completed. They had to go back in 2016 and rehook people that they forgot. But I just told him about it, and he says, well, pay or no sewer line.
Yeah, well, again, Jeremiah Johnson, John Peplowski, and other sanitary board engineers and members will be at that meeting. And I think that even though there's probably sympathy here, the kind of governing board is the Beckley Sanitary Board. So if you'll come then and update people, you get immediate feedback. It won't be speculation on your situation.
Okay.
Okay?
One more thing. Does anybody in this room knows where the red brush started? East Beckley. Anybody?
Actually,
Be right there.
Mr. File, where does the brush start? I have no idea.
Does it start on Mill Street?
Say, would it be across from Westmoreland?
I think Antonio and Mills and Patch runs the other way. I think all those streets enter into the formerly underserved or unserved Red Brush Sewer District where we
Had those
spent,
upgrades.
Yeah, Miss Chambers had a lot to do.
right. Yeah, so, I mean, it's in that general area as far as specific house numbers or blocks.
Do you know, sir? You know?
I think it starts at Mills. We'll have to look
How
at
about
the map.
Springdale Avenue?
We'll have to look at the
Yeah, Springdale runs from,
Springdale.
yeah. Okay, appreciate it. So we'll see you hopefully on
I'll see you
the
June 14th.
sanitary board meeting. Bobby Hall.
Hi, guys.
Hi there.
What I'm here for today is to ask for a little bit of help. I'm trying to throw a recovery event to bring awareness to people, to show that there's hope out there still to get people into recovery. I myself am in recovery as well. I have a little less than a year. I'm coming up on my 1 year in July the 27th. So I've got vendors that's going to come out and help with the event to show people that there is a second chance for it. There's people that's out there, I know myself, that's still in addiction and wanting to get into recovery. They just don't know how. So what I'm trying to do is to bring awareness to it and to show that there are still people out there that's willing to help. And I would actually like to ask the city of Beckley to partner in with me to help bring awareness. Because I know everybody in Beckley has somebody in addiction one way or another. And they're either affected by it or somehow or another. So what I'd like to do is throw the event and have like food to give out and everything. Do like a hot dog sale and hamburger sale. All donations go directly back into an account for rehabs and for sober living houses as well. I came out of Open Hearts Ministry or Outreach. They helped me out a great deal with it. I go to meetings every Monday. to help further along my sobriety, but to actually help other people that's still in addiction. It's big, it weighs on me hard because of it. I've got friends that's out there still in addiction. I've even still got family that's in addiction. And they're all wanting to help. But the vendors that I've got that's coming out is willing to actually have counsels with people that's affected by people that have lost people. They're willing to talk to them about it and be there for them. I've got Concord University is going to come out and show people that there's still a second chance for them to go back and get their college degrees and stuff like that. I've got re-entry. They're going to come out and be there with me to help. There's several other ones.
15 seconds.
15 seconds, sir.
But I mean, anything that y'all could do to help, if y'all see fit to do it, I mean, I'm willing to accept anything that can be done.
I suggest send a letter. You can send it to my attention if you like, describing and a brief explanation of exactly what you want to do, when
Okay.
you want to do it, the contribution you're looking for. I'm going to put Danielle Stewart on the spot a little bit. She's going to speak in a moment. But Danielle, do you have any advice to this gentleman on?
I'm going to put you in contact with Dominique Marcus from the Raleigh County Prevention Coalition and Kelly Gano from the Raleigh County Family Support Center.
Okay.
Both of them will be able to help you with that event as well.
All right. I also have some flyers. I have one of my flyers that I have made up to show everything about the event as well.
What's the date of the event?
It's going to be on July the 29th.
Okay.
From 11 to 4 at Maxwell Hill Community Center.
Okay. Good. All right. Good. Yeah, if you can huddle there with Danielle, and,
All right.
and then if you'll drop me a line just real quickly.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Tina Pennell.
Good evening. I bring you, is it on? I'm probably got a loud mouth anyways, but I bring you greetings from the Juneteenth Multicultural Committee, and we have secured our agenda for Juneteenth this year. It's our 19th annual. So on June 16th, we'll have the kids that any of them want to participate that live here in Beckley or Mount Hope to join us at Leisure Lanes. If they sign up on the app, they can bowl for free. And then, of course, on June 17th, 2023, Saturday, from 9 a.m. until 10, we will be at the Hunter Cemetery. We'll open up with prayer. And then, of course, we'll be selling T-shirts for those who want to actually do the walk from Hunter Cemetery to the Washington Family Urban Community Garden, which is right in front of Stratton. And that walk will start at 10 to 11. After that, we'll disperse to the New River Park, where we will host our barbecue, as always, from 12 to 5. And we'll have, T-shirt sales, music, fun, prizes, and door prizes. So I'll be connecting with several vendors so that they can partake. And I thank you again for the opportunity to speak today.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you. Danielle?
All right, thank you all once again for the opportunity to speak. I don't feel like I've done this in like 2 weeks. At the last meeting, this council discussed the panhandling problem currently in Beckley and one way to address the situation. A few days after the meeting, I was involved in an incident where a recovery center in Mercer County dropped off a former client with nothing but a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a trash bag for their clothes, and a one-way ticket to Columbus, Ohio. This individual was from Connecticut, and he was specifically recruited to come down here to go to that recovery center. And that's happening a lot. After the 90-day period of treatment at these recovery centers, They get a bus ticket anywhere other than here, and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and goodbye, because their recovery centers no longer getting paid. A bigger problem that we can't necessarily deal with. I was able to get him a ticket, though, to get home to Connecticut in a backpack full of food, because it's a 36-hour bus trip to get there. And importantly, there's now one less panhandler in Beckley. This is one of the many stories that I'm hearing that are adding to our panhandler problem. These stories have inspired me to work with several of the organizations I'm involved with to develop a comprehensive solution that will help those that really need help, transport those who need transport, and identify and remove the bad actors and opportunists operating in the community. This comprehensive plan is going to require support from multiple organizations, including the city. We should have a draft plan by the end of the week, and so we can discuss in detail our plan to address the issue. I'm requesting the City Council schedule a workshop at its earliest convenience so we can go over this plan and then get your input on how we want to address this situation that is fair to our residents and treats people with respect. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Danielle. We will, as we have discussed the past day or so, we will set up a workshop and ask you to come and address us in more detail. And I will advise council that Raleigh County Community Action Association has made a pledge of a certain amount of money, and there will be some requests of the city to also participate in a well-thought program with many facets that Danielle and his team have put together. So we'll get into more detail on that at a workshop within the next month. But that's good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Danielle.
Okay, Anthony, do we have anybody signed up online?
We do have a few people in
Okay, let me read the instructions here. For public comments, if calling in by phone, dial *3 to raise your hand to be recognized to speak. If connected by a computer, click the hand icon on your participants panel, which also recognizes you to speak. So with that, you have somebody teed up to speak, Anthony?
It doesn't appear anybody raised their hand, sir.
Okay. All righty. Very good. Anything else for the good of the cause?
No, sir.
Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Adjourn. Thanks, everybody.